There were two obstacles to the military police taking complete control of Tokyo. The first was Empire Energy Corp. Headquartered in the Tokyo Megafloat, they were the sole corporation to successfully draw out geothermal energy from the central hot zone, gaining a monopoly on Tokyo's energy supply. Oh wow. With all of Japan enveloped in an intense cold preventing the inner city transport of goods, EEC services were necessary to maintain a modern standard of living. Major General Kibanohara Hokuyasu's plan was simple. By allowing Milgram to commit acts of terrorism against Empire Energy Corp, he would cause the energy elite to lose influence. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So then, who the hell is Mitsumi going to be killing? So Mitsumi's revenge isn't to kill Milgram. Who? Sophia? One obstacle remained, however. In the pouring snow, a white wall towers over the shore of Tokyo Bay. Amachi Robotic Industries founder Amachi Juichiro collected all of the smart material he could find in Tokyo to create this mad castle. The fortress. Major General Kibanohara calmly looks down upon the white castle from aboard the gunship Vulture.
警告が繰り返されています。
構わん、撃て。
しかし、
奴らは軍警察を見くびっている。思い知らせろ。
He wants to become a fucking dictator. A monarch. Monarch? Is it monarch or monarch? I think it's the latter. Captain Nagisa yields. The Major General's orders are relayed to the ground. A dazzling light engulfs the area. A simultaneous blast from a line of gray chameleons in front of the fortress. Smart material is capable of self-repair. But the overwhelming heat output of the coordinated gray chameleon strike burns through the White Castle's wall. The gunship advances through the hole before it has the chance to repair itself. The gray chameleons cannot advance past the self-repairing wall, but they can wait outside for the order to charge.
ここは遊園地。
Kazuma is taken aback by the sight. It's like something out of another century, another world entirely. Built inside the white walls is an amusement park filled with joyful music and the cheers of children.
21世紀。まだ地上に夢と希望があふれていた時代の遊園地が、ここにはそのまま再現されている。
そんな。でも、こんな場所聞いたことありません。
Kazuma mutters in blank amazement as she looks down upon the cheerful smiles of the families lined up at the attractions. Hokuyasu himself had only heard of this place from a coworker in passing. This is his first time seeing it with his own eyes.
彼らはセクサロイドだ。
セクサロイド。
喜びに満ち溢れた彼らの顔は人間そっくりだろう。ザ・フォートレスにやってきた変態は、このいかにも人間らしい振る舞いをするロボットの中から一夜のパートナーを選ぶ。
Kazuma finds herself at a loss for words. Is there any point in constructing such a huge amusement park just to display sexoroids? She's heard murmurings of Amachi Juichiro's eccentricities, of course, and knew that the fortress was a playground for rich sexoroided dicks. But all of this? As the vulture flies towards the central castle, a communication signal suddenly cuts in. A direct line. After a brief exchange via his conray, Major General Kibanohara gives an order to the cockpit.
降りろ。
The gunship touches down on the giant castle in the center of the amusement park. Major General Kibanohara disembarks, taking his best Special Operations Group members with him. Not a moment later, a huge number of humanoid operating machines surround them. The might of Amachi Robotic Industries on full display. One of the security robots speaks. Its voice is that of an old man.
招待状を出した覚えはないのだが、何の用事かね、木場の原少将。
The display's voice belongs to none other than Amachi Juichiro himself. An authority in the development and marketing of humanoid military robots. A living legend among entrepreneurs. And above all else, the proprietor of the fortress.
逮捕令状が出ている。副都知事の誘拐、殺人、並びに人身売買の容疑だ。
さて、 我々と日本政府の間には違い封建の
渚大尉行け。
The Major General ignores Juichiro and sends in Captain Nagisa.
軍警察が我々とことを構える。
問題でも？
やれやれ。君がそんな間抜けだとはね。
The humanoid operating machine, acting as a stand-in for Amachi, raises its hand up high. Underneath the fortress is a humanoid operating machine factory that utilizes waste resources from the landfill it stands on. The military police have no chance of winning in a battle of sheer resources. However, Amachi's confusion is clear even through the speaker. Even the fortress relies on geothermal energy supplied by the Empire Energy Corp. He was waiting for, EEC to collapse. After confirming that the maintenance system wasn't functioning due to the AES outage at the Tokyo Megafloat, Hokuyasu severed the hot pipe leading to the fortress. Their private power generator may hold out for a while, but there's no need to worry about Amachi overwhelming them with numbers.
無策というわけでもないようだな。
Every security robot in the area levels their guns simultaneously. Damn, this guy has his own 3D model. You know this guy's a badass when this happens. The Major General dons his X-Brain. In his hands are two pistols with muzzle spikes attached, re-eliminators. Here stands Kibanohara Hokuyasu, former commanding officer of the close quarters armed martial arts training unit.
排除しろ。
Hokuyasu reacts swiftly. Taking the vanguard, he rushes at the security robots with fists of steel, forged in the fires of anti-living dead combat. One by one, his opponents are reduced to scrap metal. Seeing their leader gallantly charging forth invigorates the members of the military police, spurring them forward. Their target, the flesh and blood body of Amachi Juichiro. Hokuyasu heads into the main building of the fortress, aiming for the top floor. There are far too many enemies for him to take them all on himself, but he has an elite warrior covering him from behind. Gijo Mitsumi's ultrasonic vibro katana tears through the security robots as easily as cutting flesh. The two of them cover each other's blind spot as they take down wave after wave of security robots.
貴様の戦いは醜いな。
それが私だ。
Hokuyasu casts aside any aspirations to beauty long ago. He takes only pride in his methods. He pushes forward, ever forward. Stained with blood and with sin, his two re-eliminators serve as proof of where he stands and who he is.
小安さん。
The world itself distorts. Gibanohara Hokuyasu's sin, Aso Yukari, stands before him. No, it cannot possibly be Aso Yukari. After all, she is already dead, gone from this world. Hokuyasu clenches his teeth. This is an illusion, a phantom of the past, a vision of regret. The curse that binds Kibanohara Hokuyasu, which is why he has to shoot. He has to destroy. He has to say goodbye.
許して。
But Hokuyasu cannot go through with it. Forgive me. Those words reopen an old wound. His dead daughter. What did he want to accomplish by resurrecting her? Ostensibly, it was because she was a top-class living dead stalker. She was valuable. That's what he told himself. But perhaps... Hokuyasu reacts to his experience alert just a fraction of a second too late. Hesitation is fatal. His leg is pierced through his bulletproof coat, tearing a tendon and hindering his movement. Bullets rush at him in quick succession. One through the shoulder, one through the stomach, one through the chest. His body is slowly being torn apart. The smart material wall must have been breached. He can hear Captain Nagisa calling through the communications line. but help cannot possibly make it in time. As his vision starts to fade, Hokuyasu gazes at Yukari. And as his consciousness starts to fade, he thinks of Etika. Is it Yukari who needs to be forgiven? Or is it Hokuyasu himself? In any case, the opportunity for redemption has been lost. What the fuck sort of ending am I getting here? What the fuck is going on here? This is Etika. Man, I think at this point, I don't think I can stop. I was gonna end the episode after that scene ended, but I'm continuing. It's 10:32 p.m. right now. Fuck it. I open my eyes. I'm in a hospital room. This must be the military police hospital.
起きたか？なんとかね。
Though honestly, some part of me was hoping I'd never wake up again.
眠っていられるのも今のうちだ。あ？それって。リビングデッドは眠らない。
Right. So I have enough human consciousness left in me to require sleep. I'm still alive. I glance at the clock. It's the day after the operation. 3 days since the Tokyo Megafloat sank.
左腕は異常なし。簡単にくっついちまうもんだね。それがリビングデッドだ。わかっちゃいたけど気持ち悪い。
Of course, I know that this is my arm. Living dead stalkers have their DNA submitted to the military police, so it can be used to help treat them in case of an emergency. No need to worry about rejection if you're transplanting their own body parts. Not that you'd have to worry about that with a living dead either way. You could pick up an arm from any corpse lying around and attach it to me. It would function just the same. Man, this music is really creepy. With how sparse resources are in Tokyo nowadays, it's more cost-effective to stitch together a hi-fi than procure a humanoid operating machine.
こういうのも意外と便利かもね。黙っていてすまなかった。
Yeah, Mitsumi definitely knows about our condition after hearing about it from Etika's dad.
別にいいよ。みつみんだってきつかったでしょ。自分がもう少し早く現場に駆けつけていればとか。すまない。私の命の責任は私にある。みつみんが謝ることじゃないって。
Nah, it's my responsibility actually, Etika. I made you guys die.
それにまだ私は生きてるんだからさ。
Mitsumin falls silent. On the day the Tokyo Megafloat sank, a scavenger bullet ate my left arm. I had been thinking that if I fell a little off, but that's when I first realized that I was a living dead. Like, it's not exactly the first thing you think of. But more shocking than that was the fact that the old man was my master. I realized it right after my left arm was eaten. It wasn't just my usual intuition. On some deep level, I suddenly knew that he was dead. I checked later and found out that, sure enough, Kibanohara Hokuyasu died in a gunfight inside the fortress right around that time. There's a bond of sorts between the living dead and the necromancer who created them, one that science can't explain. The fact that I could sense that means I'm now effectively on a timer.
慣例から言えば、理性が持つのはあと1週間だ。
Fuck.
はあ。
I keep my tone indifferent.
1週間経つとどうなっちゃうの？もし理性がなくなっても、ネクロマンサーが存在すれば、その空白を埋めてもらえる。だが、もしネクロマンサーが存在しなければ、リビングデッドを支えるものは何もなくなる。支えるもののないリビングデッドっていうと、グールのようなものだ。本能的な破壊衝動に身を任せる。へえ。
I knew all of this, of course, but having it said to my face like this stings.
お主は強い。 体を鍛えていて運動能力も優れている。武器の扱いにも慣れている。理性を失っても無意識が覚えている体の動作はそこまで劣化しない。
つまり暴れ出したら厄介。
Mitsumin looks at me fixedly.
木場野原、もしよければ。
みつみん大丈夫だって。
Knowing what she's about to propose, I cut her off. She probably has a necromancer friend or something.
なんて言ったって私はエチカちゃんだぜ。そんな簡単に理性なくしたりなんてしないって。
あ、
Beyond the pipes, I can see a view of Tokyo. Just how much longer will that view keep striking me as beautiful? For now, at least, I'm still myself. Man, I fucked up big time with Ethica and both, Son. Aso Kiriri has a promising career ahead of her, having already attained the rank of Major in the military police. While Major General Kibanohara Hokoyasu was her foster father, she reached her current position without relying on his influence. Even after Major General Kibanohara's death in the line of duty threw the organization into disarray, Kiriri continued to perform her duties tirelessly, helping to restore order. Her abilities are not in question. As such, she has been entrusted with the task of meeting and negotiating with Sophia Kawarizaki. Sophia has moved her operations to Tokyo in the wake of the disaster at the Tokyo Megafloat. However, gaining an audience with her does not prove easy.
なぜあなたが。
ソフィア様は多忙だ。私がここまでやってきただけでもありがたく思うのだな。
アメホコを練り歩いたり、コーロームに入り浸ったり、老人処分特区に顔を見せたり。ソフィア河原崎は東京の生活を満喫していると聞きますが。
だから多忙なのだよ。市民生活を身をもって学ぼうというソフィア様の強い意志に我々も驚いている。
The exchange is heated. Both parties seek to gain the upper hand.
では、今日はご協力に感謝します。
あなたの尽力がなければメガフロートに住む多くの人間の命が失われていたところだった。こちらこそ礼を言う。
命を守るのが我々の仕事ですから、職務を果たしたまでです。
Almost all of the 50,000 energy elite were able to escape the Tokyo Megafloat. Thanks to Kiriri's quick maneuvering, casualties were kept to an absolute minimum. This may not have been enough to summon Sophia, but a right-hand man did show himself.
移住は順調ですか？
文化が違う。我々がよりにもよってこんなところに住むとはな。
Damn it though, Hokoyasu. I can't believe you failed at the last second. Fucking idiot.
住人の不満は多い。
旧池袋 CPC を中心に再開発するというプランもあると聞いていますが。
耳が早いな。
情報は生命線です。
Revealing this to him is meant as a display of trust. Balance must be restored between the military police and an energy elites to ensure Tokyo's stability.
登記上、我々が東京で最も手っ取り早く手に入れられる土地はあの一帯だ。我々サットの力は強力だが、しかし限定的だ。大規模な作戦を展開するには戦力が足りない。
精神的指導者のミルグラムが死亡して、ネクロマンサーによる犯罪件数は確実に減ります。我々も攻勢に打って出る時期と考えていました。利害は一致しているようですね。
ああ。
High-ranking living dead stalkers, such as Gijo Mitsumi, have elected to join forces with the military police. If SAD-2 chooses to provide assistance, the dream of eradicating the necromancers entirely could very well become a reality. The city will change. The Megafloat's sinking marks the failure of the Rebirth project, but at the same time signifies a new dawn for Tokyo. Kiriri is certain of this.
ソフィア様は変わった。
As their conversation approaches its end, Kagekatsu suddenly utters this.
東京リバースプロジェクトはソフィア様の悲願だった。だが今はつきものが落ちたようだ。
ええ。 人類の進歩は彼女一人が追うには大きすぎます。
そう。一人の力は限られている。根を詰めるな。東京の再建には君のような存在が必要だ。
I kind of hear like some kids talking in the background in this military police HQ. Kiriri is taken aback by Yamanuma's sudden display of consideration. It feels as if, for the first time, he treats her as an equal.
最後に一言だけ。
Don't tell me you're her dad or some shit.
東京湾に注意しろ。特に海底のメガフロートには手を出すな。
Okay.
メガフロートには
A network of mesh jammer buoy. How do you say that? Buoys? Was installed to block transmissions from the sunken megafloat. Supposedly, the intent is to prevent confidential information from leaking out of the megafloat. But could there be another reason? Before Kiriri can ask him what he means, Yamanuma exits the room. She hurriedly bows her head.
ご協力感謝します。
The sound of his footsteps grows distant, and she raises her head. Kiriri lets out a breath. She's overcome yet another obstacle. Kiriri turns in the direction of the voice. However, there's no one to be seen.
エチカちゃん。
Kiriri would never mistake Etika's voice. She did plan to visit her room later, but perhaps it's best she not. Etika's refusal to approach was her way of showing consideration. Kiriri has plenty of experience with the living dead. She knows exactly how foolish it would be to continue involving herself with someone who has been on the receiving end of necromancy. The correct course of action is to respect Etika's wishes. Her work piles ever higher. There's no time to rest. This is such a fucking sad, ending. I am so sad of the decisions that I made in this ending. But it's several minutes before Kiriri can compose herself. Fuck! Are we gonna see Soen's ass now? The living dead have no need for exercise or nutritional intake. L'amours allows a human body to operate without any external energy sources. How exactly it works remains a mystery. One theory claims that it converts mental energy into kinetic force. Of course, nothing of the sort has been scientifically proven. It's all baseless conjecture. But the fact remains that my body continues to function, even though I am already dead. There's no escaping it. I am dead. It won't be long before my humanity fades away. What should I do before then? Time passes by all too quickly. The deadline approaching second by second. I gaze at the clock. It's exactly 12 o'clock. My conry vibrates. Tokitaka devotes himself to accuracy when it comes to numbers. One can trust him to be perfectly punctual, as long as he hasn't just woken up at least. Exactly what I was expecting to hear. I head down for breakfast.
今日は煮魚だ。味は微妙。
I can tell that Tokitaka's grimacing unpleasantly.
レシピは完璧なはずだ。旬なんて関係ないから合成魚の質が悪いってこともありえない。
You kind of burned the omelet there, along with the rice. What the fuck? How do you burn rice? You use a fucking rice cooker, damn it.
その他の材料の分量も俺が映像分析して誤差 0.01% の範囲で割り出した。
And why does the miso soup look really weird?
全体量から言えばほぼ無視できる誤差のはずだ。
Tokitaka looks as if he's praying to the gods of numbers.
涼子さんの味が出ない。
残念だな。
残念どころの話じゃない。一体あの味の秘密は何なのか。やはり数字に現れない何かが必要なのか。
The fact that there is no music is so depressing here.
愛情か。料理には計量されない愛情が必須だというのか。バカな。俺は信じない。この世に数字が解き明かせないものなど。
さっさと食べないと料理冷めるぞ。イリアは
部屋だ。
了解。
This is standard operating procedure for Tokitaka. He'll be fine on his own. I start climbing up the staircase to go call for Iria.
Son!
Tokitaka calls out to me. I can't believe Irie is still with us, though. I don't know how she's gonna take this. I turn back around.
運命の赤い糸を知ってるか？
聞いたことはあるよ。
運命の糸は決して断たれることがない。
I don't believe that, Tokitaka.
たとえ死が二人を分かつともだ。頼んだぞ。
So he wants me to at least be useful before my time is up, huh? I don't know how Ryoko died. But seeing as how Tokitaka is intentionally avoiding touching on it, I'm sure he's come to terms with it in his own way. It's a little heart-wrenching watching him try to take Ryoko's place like this. Which is proof that I still have a heart, I guess. For now. As soon as I reach her room, I freeze up. Am I nervous? But I'm already dead. My emotions shouldn't waver this much.
イリア。イリア。いるかな？
She didn't, kill herself, right? No answer comes. I use my conduit to check the vital signs inside the room. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Irie is awake and should be able to hear my voice.
時高がお昼ご飯を作ってくれた。そろそろ食べないと。体良けれ
Ooh,
ば
sorry.
一緒に食べないか？
No reply. She's been like this since the day the Tokyo Megafloat sank. Shut off in her room, refusing to come out. Should I keep trying to get through to her? Or will that only make things worse?
イリア、君が何を考えているのか。僕はどんな言葉をかければいいのかわからない。もし僕が死んでなかったら、今頃君を部屋から連れ出していたのかな。わからない。ごめん。
I probably know, Soen. Once we change this timeline.
僕は何を言いたかったんだろう。
You're just trying to rub it into my face, aren't you, Soen? The fact that I fucked up. Her vitals fluctuate. It feels like I'm invading her privacy. I shut off the hologram.
伝えたいことはそんなに多くないんだ。僕はただ少しでも君と一緒に過ごしたくて。
Something hits the wall with a thud. A sign of rejection. Even I can tell that much. Did I approach this the wrong way? No other words come to mind. And so, unable to say anything else, I walk away. It hurts a little, honestly, but I know the pain will soon fade away. There are still some traces of life left in me, but little by little, my reason will give way to instinct. Once I'm no longer human, there will be no reason to feel pain.
ダメだったか。
Etika hasn't returned from the hospital yet. It'll be a lunch with just the two of us again, from the looks of it.
なあ、時高。
なんだ？
僕が完全に感情を失ったら。
Don't do it to him, man.
再殺する。
You're okay with that?
俺以外いないだろ。
Damn, you're so understanding, dude.
ありがとう。
礼を言われる筋合いはない。それが俺の仕事だ。
You're such a bro, Tokitaka.
それよりもほら、冷めるぞ。
He hands me a plate with some deeply colored boiled fish. I pick at it with my chopsticks and carry it to my lips.
どうだ？涼子さんの味か？
残念だけど、僕は味覚がもう正常に働かない。
そうか。
Tokitaka nods. I grow closer to death with every passing minute. I guess the reason why we can't differentiate the curry in the first place was because me, Ryoko, and Ethika was already a freaking living dead at that point. Remember that scene where only Tokitaka and Iria were the one that was eating super spicy curry? There's no stopping it. Fuck me, man. Iria sits crouched in the dark, hugging her hands and knees. Her gaze is fixed on her conry, where her tone graph shines. Before her eyes, the network of Tokyo glimmers in rainbow colors. The shimmering lights shift by the second, never assuming the same form twice. Iria gazes at them absent-mindedly, her consciousness drifting. Simply drifting. Because she mustn't think. She mustn't think. She mustn't. Because the moment she does, her consciousness will snap back to the past. To that dim memory she caught a glimpse of in the Tokyo Megafloat. This all started because of her. Had she remained in that cage, no one would have been hurt. No one would have had to suffer. But she didn't. She escaped, seeking freedom. That set it all in motion. Tang Yunshan captured her. Soen rescued her. Kara Suzumi took her in. She found people she could call family. Their time together was precious. And then, they died. Ryoko, Ethika, and Soen. They all died.
私のせいだ。私がずっとあそこにいたら
There's nothing wrong with wanting your own happiness, you know.
みんな無事だった。
She's spoken these same words many times now. They've ceased to hold meaning, simply surging forth again and again. She doesn't want to think. She doesn't want to do anything ever again. If only she could silently fade away.
イリア、
Iria's breath catches in her throat.
イリア、いるかな？
She tries to plug her ears, but she hears it just the same.
時高がお昼ご飯を作ってくれた。そろそろ食べないと。よければ一緒に食べないか？
She doesn't want to imagine it. The idea of that joy is too much to bear. Hearing his voice makes her want to wish for more. To wish that their days together will continue forever.
イリア、君が何を考えているのか。僕はどんな言葉をかければいいのかわからない。もし僕が死んでなかったら、今頃君を部屋から連れ出していたのかなわからない。ごめん。僕は何を言いたかったんだろう。
I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Just stop. The happiness we shared will never return. Now there's nothing to be gained but pain.
伝えたいことはそんなに多くないんだ。僕はただ少しでも君と一緒に過ごしたくて。
Iria can't stand it anymore. She grabs her alarm clock and throws it. It hits the wall with a loud thud, and after that, there's only silence. The voice on the other side of the room trails off.
そう。
Iria whispers with trembling lips. She calls out to him, but he doesn't answer. She chose this. Iria curls up into a ball, trying to shield herself from the icy winds blowing against her heart. She covers her ears and squats down, staring into her quandary. I don't need anything. Not anymore. Just let time pass me by. This is so depressing. I take the office's Colacon to the hyper ghetto. The area is as snowy as ever, but the gazes the residents direct at me feel somehow softer than usual. It's probably just my imagination. As a living dead's emotions degrade, the body's capacity for modification and resistance to pain increase. Still, the general consensus is that a living dead's overall combat prowess is reduced compared to when they were alive. My senses are dulling as we speak, in other words. Mental degradation. A slow, gradual death. Fucking hell. I call out to her several times, but Sue keeps banging away on her keyboard. I walk up behind her and... I'm about to call her a horny masochist like always, but abandon the idea. As Sue types away, a storm of letters surges through the CRT monitors piled up in front of her desk. It's too fast for me to make out everything, but I do catch a few words. Brain, living dead, emotions, degradation, reduction, statistics, countermeasure, inhibition.
やっぱり。
エチカ
Her hand moves to switch off the monitors, but I catch her wrist.
私のこと知ってた？
I had a feeling she did, given how strange she'd been acting recently.
私がエチカとエッチしたいって思えなくてそれで
I guess if you were alive, you would have a sex scene with both Sohn and Ethika with Kansu here.
そっか。
That time when I asked her out on a date. We were getting in the mood, but then she suddenly called it off. The idea of sexual intercourse with a living dead fills humans with a sense of physiological revulsion. It's a sensation science can't quite explain. That ever so narrow but endlessly deep ravine that runs between the living and the dead. I didn't ask her why at the time, but I guess she's known I was dead since then.
なんだなんだ。知ってたんなら言ってくれればいいのに。って言ってもさ、私だって気づいたのはついこの前なんだ。
キリリからの報告で一部始終は聞いたから。
The situation was a jumbled mess between Ryoko's funeral and my body's maintenance. But apparently, Sue's stuck to her usual routine. To her, gathering information is just second nature.
ごめん。
ん？どうしたの、スーちゃん？
Sue falls silent. She hangs her head and rubs her eyelids a little.
私ずっと探してて。
探してるって。あ？
Countless images of living dead fills the monitors. They all have 5-centimeter long needles thrust into their heads and are connected with cords to a brainwave monitoring device. I recognize the background. Snowbound Nirvana's basement. The dates on the images are all within the past week. God only knows how many experiments Sue's performed over the past few days. Way too much of a workload for a single person. At this point, I finally realize it. Sue's face is even paler than usual. Cans of crazy dragons litter the floor around her. She hasn't slept this whole time, has she? She's been desperately searching for a way to make me and Sohn human again.
絶対エチカとソウの感情も元に戻すからだから
ありがとう、スーちゃん。
Telling her to rest probably wouldn't accomplish anything. She'll keep doing this until she passes out. I get the feeling that if she doesn't go that far to save us, she'll never be able to forgive herself. But why?
あのね、スーちゃん。こっちからは何も聞かない。でも話したくなったり、あと辛くなったりしたらいつでも呼んで。いつでも飛んでくるから。ね。
ありがとう。
よし。
If I were still alive, I wouldn't act all solemn. I just paint a dumb smirk on my face, get all fired up and say,
じゃあ終わったらデートしよう。デート、私とデート。ほら、前は他に好きな人がいるからって断られたけど、私今は好きな人いないし、いたって迷惑がられるだけだし。だから、私とスーちゃんがデートしたって何の問題もないわけだ。違う？
それは。
ダメ？
考えておく。
Not exactly an enthusiastic response. Maybe I made the wrong call here. I am losing my emotions after all. I can understand that Sue isn't gung-ho about the whole date idea, even if I don't know exactly why. So I'm still mostly fine, mostly. But when I reach the point where I can't even tell how she feels...
ちか、
何？
あの、えっと、今日は忙しい。
ここに来るのが今日の予定。
お願い。もう少しここにいてもらっていい？
もちろん。
Don't need to ask me twice. Sue is at my side. That alone makes me happy. It brings me joy. And like hell am I ever going to lose this feeling. Just how much time has passed. It feels like light and dark have switched places several times outside the window. Maybe it's just her imagination. Maybe not. Iria isn't inclined to check. What good would it do to her to know? She simply sits on her bed, silently gazing at the rainbow glow of her tone graph. Happiness, sadness, joy, sorrow. A model of human communication, shining with countless emotions. Human life itself, as viewed through the mesh network. Iria finds herself searching through it. But she is nowhere to be found. An empty husk of a city. Iria remains silent as time passes her by. The only time she leaves the room are when she needs to go to the bathroom. She walks along the dimly lit corridor, her thoughts muddled. Her one concern right now is not running into anyone. Not Soen, not Ethica, not Tokitaka. She checks there's no one outside and hurriedly makes her way to the joint bathroom. But then... the doorbell rings out. Iria holds her breath. She falls into pensive silence for several seconds. Her conclusion is that she isn't interested in greeting any guests. She starts to head back to her room. But the doorbell blares out again. Maybe she should just go answer it. No, it's none of her concern. She starts walking again. The doorbell rings again. Iria purses her lips in thought. She looks around skittishly, confirming no one is nearby. She suppresses the urge to take another step. She resists for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then takes a single step forward. Iria clenches her hands into fists and strides through the corridor, paying no heed to the doorbell. You okay? I thought you were supposed to be depressed. Who the fuck is ringing this doorbell like this too? With every step she takes, the doorbell sounds again. A moan of anguish escapes Iria's lips. She doesn't know if it's Soen, Ethica, or Tokitaka that's doing this, but Iria definitely isn't in the mood for pranks. And yet, while there is still a cloud of gloom hanging over her, she feels somehow reinvigorated, if nothing else. She wants to catch whoever's doing this and give them a piece of her mind. Iria holds up her Conry, displaying the feed from the front door's camera via hologram. What she sees shocks her. Standing outside the front door is... Soen? I walk among the throngs of people in Amehoko. I'm not alone though.
ここはいつも雑だな。警官に数学的センスのかけらも見当たらない。そう思わないか、ソウン。ソウンどうした？さっきから黙ってばかりだぞ。ははー！もしや感情がなくなったか？再殺の出番か？
お前は元気だな。
はっはっは。から元気だ。
You don't have to say it straight to me though.
野郎とのショッピングなんてから元気でも出さなきゃやってられん。
You and me both, buddy. I still have enough discretion left in me not to say it out loud. For the time being, at least.
それで何をプレゼントすればいいと思う？
なぜそれを俺に聞く？
僕はもう死んでいるから。
生きていれば最適なプレゼントができると思うのは甘えだ。
Maybe I picked the wrong person to come with me. I'm getting second thoughts about this. But when you get down to it, Tokitaka is the only person I can rely on now.
頼むぞ、時高。
ああ、任せろ。個人の直感だけを頼りにたった一つのプレゼントを選び出すなど運任せもいいところだ。どのプレゼントが効果的に作用するかは統計学が知っている。
それでその統計学の結論は？
工業イリアのすべての趣味思考パラメーターを勘案した結果導き出された回答はズバリ美少女フィギュアだ。
へえ。
Maybe I really did pick the wrong person. But it is true that Iria is a fan of 21st century otaku culture. Getting her a figurine does feel like the right choice. Fortunately, I know a shop where we can find one. Site 7.
確かにこの店ならありそうだな。
イリアと買い物に来たこともある。
それなら間違いないだろう。じゃあさっさと買って。
どれを？
え？
Tokitaka freezes up at my question.
どれをってどういうことだ？
どのフィギュアを買っていけばいいのかなって。
どれでもいいんじゃないのか？
ダメだと思う。
大丈夫だってみんな21世紀のヴィンテージだし。
お前はマラッカ製のアンチマテリアルライフルを喜んで使うか？
ダメに決まってるだろう。
Tokitaka is nothing if not earnest.
しかしこれだけ種類があるとは思わなかった。
どれを買えばいいと思う？
わからん。こればっかりは趣味思考が大きい。
さすがに得意の統計学でも不可能か。
I wanted to cheer Iria up by getting her a present, but at this rate...
イリアにもっとアニメの話を聞いておくんだった。
おいソウン。
Tokitaka cuts me off and grabs me by the shoulder.
いいかよく聞け。
He stares directly into my eyes.
統計学に不可能はない。数字を信じろ。
And what do the numbers say, Mason? Hold on. Are you for real, Tokitaka? Yeah, he's definitely serious. He furiously multi-flicks a stream of numbers flowing across his hologlasses. It's likely data from the 21st century, detailing figurine sales data, its relation with DVD sales data, the best window for sales, etc. Yes, Tokitaka is intending to make use of past statistics to calculate Iria's taste in figurines. Every now and then, I have to ask myself this question. Is this man an idiot?
数式を導くには変数が必要だ。変数。
I mean, he's not like totally wrong. She's bound to like one of the like super popular animes at the time.
年齢、スリーサイズ、髪の色、肌の露出率、ポージングの性欲誘発度、キャストオフの運。
Man, you're a fucking pervert, Tokitaka.
バカモン！
いで！
Tokitaka takes a blow from behind, making him pitch forward.
フィギュアは数字だけでは測れん。魂だ。魂を見ろ。
Sorry, old man. I can't understand the soul anymore. I'm a retired figure collector. I'm actually selling my figures now.
なんだあんたは。
俺か？俺はサブカルチャー匠だ。てめえには正しいフィギュアの作り方をたっぷり教えてやるよ。
いや、別に俺はフィギュアを作りに来たわけじゃないし。
つべこべ言うな。
で、おい、ソウン。
耐えろ、時高。これも正しい数式を導き出すためだ。
そうか、そうだったな。よし。
His devotion to numbers never wavers. Yeah, he's definitely an idiot.
こら空気が入ってるぞ。
はい、すいません。
As Tokitaka and the subculture artisan continue their struggle with the resin cast, I browse around the store absentmindedly. The anime showing in the store's displays is played via optical discs, not through a holographic cube. Based on the title, I assume it's showing some kind of magical girl show, but for some reason, the girl on screen is fighting with firearms like a Beretta, a machine gun, an anti-tank rocket launcher and mortars. And cruise missiles? Really? Based on what meager knowledge I have on the subject, magical girl shows are meant to inspire little girls, but... I think I have an idea.
できた。おいソン、できたぞ。究極のフィギュアがこれだ。
ロリコンか？
What the fuck?
謝るな。弱いは333歳。
Shut the fuck up, Tokitaka.
かつて人はそれをロリババアと呼んだ。
外見と数字のギャップ。これこそがキャラクターを魅力的に表現するんだよ。
Shut the fuck up, you idiot.
それで？
え？
目的が変わってないか？
Tokitaka's eyes widen with shock, and his gaze drops to the figurine in his hands.
確かに。いくらこのフィギュアが魅力的だろうと、俺の手作りをイリアに送るのはちょっと変だ。ソン、次はお前が匠に教えを請う番だ。
いや、大丈夫。
大丈夫って？
もうプレゼントは用意しておいたから。
There were some ups and downs, let's say, but one way or another, I've accomplished what I set out to do. I don't know why exactly she's so depressed. And I'm a dead man walking. I doubt I can accomplish much with the time I have left. If there's one thing I want to do, though, one thing only I can do, it's to pull her out of the hole she's dug for herself. Maybe that's arrogant, but so be it. I hope she likes it. I undo the security and enter the office.
ただいま。
No answer comes. Ryoko is gone. Feeling a tinge of sadness wash over me, I put the present on the table and take off my coat.
ん？まずいぞ。
フィギュアでも忘れてきたか？
Iria's not here, isn't she? Tokitaka ignores my comment and multi-flicks, calling up the agency's security system. Kansu doesn't need any more living dead. She's already collected all of the data she might need. She has nothing to ask Ethica to help her with, and having her there doesn't improve her work efficiency in any way. If anything, having her around only serves as a distraction. And yet... When she turns around, Ethica is there. Knowing she's sitting there with a mug of coffee in hand, gazing at her with constant interest, fills Kansu with an indescribable feeling of relief. She hasn't slept in days. The prospect of resting her head on Ethica's lap becomes more and more tempting by the moment. No. No good. I need to focus. Concentrate. Chiding herself, Kansu turns back around. Finding a way to prevent the living dead's emotions from degrading. This is her mission. Not even sparing time to sleep, she ignored her own limits, repeatedly driving along the highway. Sifting through theses, there we go, and performing her own experiments, she desperately sought a clue, any sort of clue. But the only thing she learned from all this is that she had learned nothing. Even finding the barest of hints has proven a Herculean task. And she knows all too well that spending days toiling away without a light at the end of the tunnel is wearing her spirit thin. If there's any comfort to be found in this situation, it's that Soen's and Ethica's mental degradation is seemingly progressing slower than usual. Given how long it's been since Milgren killed them, their human reasoning should be completely gone already. In which case, maybe trying to figure out why their mental degradation is so slow might bring her closer to the answer she seeks. Ethica rises from her seat, interrupting Kansu's train of thought.
ああ、ごめん。ソーンから連絡。もしもし、どうしたの？はあ？
Kansu recoils at Ethica's sudden shout. Ethica multiflicks, transmitting the call audio to one of the shop speakers.
もう一回言って。
Kansu's hands begin to shake, dropping an empty Crazy Dragon can to the floor. Kansu raises her voice so loudly it shocks even herself.
スーちゃん？
私協力する。
サポートよろしく。
Ethica sprints out of the room with a smile. Kansu turns to face the monitors before she's even left the shop. She might just have her hint. Now she just needs to see where it leads. The data is all there. The data she spent sleepless nights collecting. She can't afford to let it go to waste.
そう、聞こえる。監視カメラのデータがあれば欲しい。
The biggest question is whether Iria left of her own accord or she was abducted by someone. Kansu takes a deep breath and tries to imagine how Iria was feeling. Soen said she hadn't left her room for the last few days. Most likely, she feels responsible for her friends becoming living dead. Did the weight of that responsibility make her want to end her life? No, that's not it. Kansu knows what kind of person Iria is. She would never choose to do something that would hurt the people around her. Was the idea of spending time with Soen and Ethica as their emotions slip away too much for her to bear? That's possible, but if that's the case, why leave now? There had to have been something, some kind of trigger that lured her outside. The file transfer is complete. The Kara Suzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency is under the constant watch of surveillance cameras. It doesn't extend into its residents' personal rooms, but the common spaces are always monitored. Kansu loads up a video analysis program and checks the last bit of footage Iria appeared in. The footage shows Iria opening the door of her room, half asleep, likely on her way to the bathroom. How long has it been since she's last seen her looking so vulnerable? Now's not the time for wishful reminiscence. As Iria walks through the hallway, the office's doorbell rings. Kansu immediately switches over to the front door's footage. But that's when the video cuts off. Did Iria access the system and pause the recording herself? Or was the data destroyed from the outside? While she was waiting for the data Soen sent her to finish transferring, Kansu accessed the military police's database and checked the footage from the nearby pipe runners. But there was no evidence of anyone appearing in front of the Kara Suzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency there either. It would take a very skilled hacker to modify the military police's database, which narrows the list of possibilities considerably. What's more, Iria went missing in the middle of Shinjuku's business district. Forcibly abducting her would be extremely risky. To that end, Kansu concludes it's highly likely it was someone Iria knew. Her fingers start moving sooner than her lips finish mouthing the words. She infiltrates the traffic bureau's database and pulls up a record of all the vehicles that drove through the area in the last 2 hours. The movement data of all vehicles is automatically recorded in the automatic vehicle network. Of course, it doesn't include data from stolen or illegal vehicles, but these unrecorded vehicles do leave a blank space in the data. Kansu slots the stolen vehicle data she has into these blank spaces. Kansu gazes fixedly into the monitors. Stolen cars don't update their firmware, meaning they have security holes to exploit. Kansu has infected roughly 90% of the stolen cars in Tokyo with a virus of her own devising, giving her a read on their whereabouts at all times. Man, she's a freaking broken, like, you know, like person also. What the fuck? Like info broker, like what crazy motherfucking thing that she does. But even after inserting all of this data, there's still a hole in the database. Too much space between cars. An unregistered stolen car? Or a vehicle whose data simply isn't recorded to begin with? Kansu analyzes a specific sector's data. Her physical keyboard makes satisfying clicking sounds as she bangs on it. Letters and numbers scroll by on her monitor at an astonishing pace. It doesn't take long to finish her calculations. There was a car parked by the Karasuzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency. A car that doesn't exist according to the database. And by filling in the blanks one by one, she's traced its current location.
見つけた。
There are countless cameras installed throughout Tokyo, more than any hacker can hope to seize control of at once. Kansu hacks into the weather cameras covering the Bay Coast area and displays their live feed. And sure enough, the feed shows a vehicle that's not registered with the traffic bureau heading east along the Shudo Expressway.
あの輸送トラック。
Why the Shudo Expressway?
さすがスーちゃん。そう。
Ethica and Son immediately head east. The truck's destination is all too clear. The Tokyo Megafloat again? Oh, the fortress! Amachi Juichiro's Sexoid Wonderland. It must be Aso Yukari then. I switched the Colacon to manual and drive as fast as possible down the Shuto Expressway. It's registered as a vehicle belonging to private special living dead stalkers, so I don't need to worry about being caught for going over the speed limit. The truck we're after is already past the Shiba Park. If it's heading for the fortress, I don't think we'll make it in time no matter how fast we go.
大丈夫。そっちの方はなんとかする。
You gonna manipulate the, you know, like the traffic lights? Do something. Like what? I'm almost about to ask, but I stopped myself. It's Sue we're talking about here. Our resident super hacker. She'll figure out something. So I just have to put my trust in her and put that pedal to the metal.
おらおら、どけどけどけ。邪魔するやつはケツ掘るぞ。
Of course, vehicles controlled by the ROS can't possibly block us. They confirm our vehicle as priority and slow down to accommodate. But
それすら邪魔だっつってんだよ。
I blast through the gaps in the cars. Compressed air cars are lightweight. The Colacon jolts hard as it overtakes the other vehicles. Fortunately, the mechanically operated shock-resistant panels manages to curb the impact. Go, go, go! Faster than sound, faster than fucking light. I have no idea who kidnapped her or why they did it, but those are questions we can answer after we get her back. Only one thing matters. Hagyo area is an indispensable part of the Karasuzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency. And I've got a duty to reclaim her smile. Because it was us that took it away. Iria would still be smiling right now if we hadn't been so weak. If we hadn't become living dead. And that's why... I checked the navigation program. We've closed a lot of the distance, getting as far as the Rainbow Bridge. But the truck has already passed the elderly disposal zone and is heading toward the fortress. We won't make it in time.
Soo-chan!
Just as I call her name, a hologram is projected over the freeway. It announces that a traffic accident took place up ahead, forbidding all traffic. Is this...
無人の盗難車を使った。これで先へは進めない。
I was gonna say she can also, like, purposely made a traffic accident.
でかした。
The truck that kidnapped Iria shouldn't be able to proceed until the cars involved in the accident are towed away. We have them trapped now. Sure enough, the traffic ahead of us is gradually becoming congested.
派手にやってんな。
The sound of screeching tires echoes from among the packed cars. The truck Sue saw in the security camera comes racing toward us in reverse. I hit the brakes and take up the onboard AK-50. Now's not the time to be pig-headed. Not with Iria's life on the line. Yeah. Feels like I'm bursting with energy. The red truck accelerates further as it approaches. My X-brain locks onto it. The woman in the driver's seat. I know who she is.
お前か。
She leans out of the driver's seat.
はーい乗ってく
Olga? Olga? The woman who I spent that night in the hotel with. Why her?
止まりやがれ
My warning shot sends fragments of asphalt flying into the air, but Olga doesn't even flinch. I can't stand that smug-looking face of her on her face.
逃がさねえぞ
Smug-looking look. Smug? Smug fucking look. Okay, there you go. I howl at her and dive back into the car. I kick the Colicon into reverse and accelerate, bracing myself as the compressed air vehicle flies backward with explosive speed. One sharp turn of the steering wheel and the Colicon spins 180 degrees. If Olga is heading for the fortress, then she had to give up on the route going through Shinkiba, which means she should be approaching it from the seaward side, going through the quarry in the old Odaiba district. But things aren't going to go that easy for her. We've got the clear advantage when it comes to speed. The distance between us gradually closes. A submachine gun is suddenly thrust out the truck's window. I hurriedly pull away, narrowly avoiding the hail of bullets it fires at us. I'd love to fire back at her with my rifle, but gotta be patient. So long as I don't know where in the truck they're keeping area, I can't shoot blindly at them for risk of hitting her by mistake. Olga knows this all too well, of course, and sways the truck's carrying tray tauntingly. Motherfucker. I fire the AK-50 at the windshield. The bullets bust through it, but the car's self-repair function immediately kicks in to fix it. So before it does, I insert the barrel into the hole and fix it in place, stabilizing it against the dashboard. The car's safety device will handle the steering, letting me focus on aiming.
頼むぞ
I abide by the suggestion and pull the trigger. The X-Brain's aim is perfect. The bullet whizzes through the self-repairing glass, hitting the truck's tire. It doesn't puncture it though. Perhaps predicting trouble might come their way, they covered their tires with reinforced resin bulletproof plates. Tokitaka's Ogasora TFD-20 might be able to shoot through them, but it's not happening with this assault rifle. Okay, so what now? If there is anyone I can fall back on at times like this, it's...
オッケー相棒私もそうしようと思ってたとこだ
What, are we gonna jump into her? Into like the truck? As she runs in reverse along the Shuto Expressway, Olga keeps a constant watch behind her. The enemy try to shoot out her tires, but that rifle won't be enough to do her in. And if they close in to ram the truck, Olga has her Uzi machine gun ready. To top it all off, she even has a hostage. Her opponent is unable to make a move. Of course, Olga is well aware that Etika is eminently resourceful, capable of extraordinary feats of creativity. Or she was. She's a living dead now. Based on how long it's been since she was revived, any creative prowess should have diminished to nothing by now. Olga can't afford to falter. She must bring Iria to the fortress. Her mission demands it.
私の勝ちねエチカ
The Martim Subcenter interchange comes into view. This should take her to the old Odaiba district's quarry, and once she gets there, she'll have effectively shaken Etika off. But just as she turns the steering wheel, intending to get out of a reverse gear, she cut off the door? The Kurlakon's door rolls down the road at high speeds. Etika emerged from the vehicle, personal chainsaw in hand. Whatever she's trying to do, it's too late. Olga turns the steering wheel sharply. As she heads towards the exit, she releases a barrage of bullets. With the door gone, the bullets tear through Etika. But she's a living dead. Any damage she takes is irrelevant so long as it's not to her brain. Still gripping the steering wheel, Etika starts to lean toward the road.
あいつバカなの
Olga turns the handle as she shouts, but it's too late. Etika extends her chainsaw as far as it will go, its blade tearing through the truck's wheel. Olga grimaces as she feels the truck rock violently. She thought Etika would lose her creative faculties along with her emotions. She certainly didn't expect anything like this. The fortress is a stone's throw away. She'd lost a lot of speed, but if she can just avoid taking any more damage...
この忙しい時に何？
She can see another vehicle approach her on the display. A Strider belonging to the Karasuzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency. Probably Nagaoka Son and Ichihara Tokitaka. Man, I thought this game was gonna, like, slowly drip feed the, like, antagonists based on whose route we're on. But we're actually dealing with all of them, even though I don't know whose route I'm on right now. What the fuck? Obeying his words doesn't sit well with her, but she doesn't have a better alternative. Clinging to the heavily shaking fuselage, Olga does as she was told and heads into the quarry. Damn, that looks like a badass CG. Snow flutters down on Tokyo Bay's seaside quarry. We arrive at a certain point on the shoreline as per Kansu's instructions. This is the Chinese Mafia's turf. The area is littered with Chinese billboards. As I get off the Strider, Etika calls out to me. She did arrive first, but we got here just moments later.
トラックは？
あそこだ。
Etika points to a valley of garbage where a red truck is visible.
タイヤ切ったから、あれで逃げるのは無理だろうな。
派手にやりやがって。
Tokitaka remarks exasperatedly. Like Etika said, the truck's tire is completely shredded. She said she used rabbit punch, which means she sliced through it from close range while the truck was in motion. Classic Etika.
時高、準備いいか？
任せろ。
Tokitaka is staying behind in the Strider. He's already begun assuming sniping position. I already have my X-Brain on. I will take area back, no matter what.
行くぞ。
I take the lead, with Etika following after me. With each step, the unstable footing beneath us warps. Moisture begins to seep through my footwear. It would be ideal to proceed in the Strider, but it's simply too heavy for this terrain. We step into the valley at the heart of this island of trash. It's right about sea level, and seems largely untouched by scavengers. Up into the 21st century, the garbage dumped into Tokyo Bay was used in land reclamation. But in the current year of 2199, with cities cut off from one another, this garbage has become a source of precious resources. The waste harvested here is carried to the Chinese factories in Shinagawa, where it supplements what's left of Tokyo's economy.
気をつけろよ。
何が来ようともぶっ壊すだけさ。
Etika said crush. We're private special living dead stalkers. But our actions right now aren't in response to criminal activity involving living dead. At least, for the time being. There's a high probability Iria was abducted. But considering we're doing this without going through any legal procedures, we're effectively trespassing. At any moment, security robots could arrive to expel us by force. No, by all means, an alarm of some sort should have been raised already. There's only one explanation I can think of for this. The leader of Amachi Robotic Industries, Amachi Juichiro, and the Chinese Mafia, who provide him with resources. The connection between these two runs deep. In a manner of speaking, we set foot in Amachi Juichiro's home turf. A mesh jammer meant to deter thieves activates, cutting off our means of communication.
来たぞ。
分かってる。
So are we dealing with living dead or actual living humans right now? The owners of this facility were likely contacted by Amachi and know of our abilities. The fact they're launching an attack implies they have a large enough force to be confident they can stop us. Okay, robots, makes sense. A total of 20 security robots approach, firing at us with rifles. Since we're illegally trespassing, they're free to fire without giving warning. Etika and I each take cover behind piles of garbage as gunfire from the robots chases after us. Garbage flies through the air. I obey my X-Brain's suggestion to dodge, and the next moment, an explosion occurs over my head. Airburst grenades. Upon being fired from a grenade launcher, these rounds automatically calculate the distance to their target, then explode in midair as they pass over them. I jump back, blocking the blast with my bulletproof coat, but some of the shrapnel does penetrate it. Had I been alive, this would have made for a fatal injury. Your average private corporation doesn't have access to firepower like this. My X-Brain analyzes the model number of the robots we're up against. These models aren't commercially available. They were dispatched directly from the fortress. In other words, they're not opponents we can underestimate. Ethica fires back with an AK-50, but the security robots perform evasive maneuvers based on a complex algorithm. It's impossible to get a clean hit on them like this. On my end, my re-eliminators are loaded with armor-piercing rounds, but the enemy's too far for them to deal any effective damage. Like its name implies, the true worth of close-quarters armed martial arts is in close-range combat. I'll need to close the distance, but I get a suggestion to stay put. The sound of a blast echoes through the area. Trash rains down upon us as if an explosive had just been set off. Among that trash are shards and fragments of a destroyed security robot. Tokitaka fired his anti-material rifle from the Strider, sinking one of our opponents. Tokitaka doesn't pause. He shoots again and again, sending garbage flying with each shot. His rounds shred straight through our opponent's cover, taking down the security robots one by one. Blessed be his anti-material rifle, I whisper to myself. 14 total blasts. My X-Brain urges me to move out. The enemy doesn't counterattack. Tokitaka's onslaught forced them to rethink their strategy.
いいとこ持って行きやがって。
そういうな。多分あいつはあいつで苦労する。
There should be 6 more security robots left. They're probably heading out to defeat the hidden sniper. Tokitaka has the Strider's automatic backup to assist him. It won't be an easy fight, but he'll manage one way or another.
じゃあま、私たちは私たちで自分の仕事を。
エチカ。
あ?
As Ethica begins to head toward the truck again, I stop her.
何か聞こえないか?
I don't hear anything.
何かって。
Ethica's X-Brain picks up on the sound too.
足音?
ああ、それも四つ足のがたくさんだ。
Dogs? Wolves?
あ、まさか。
Ah, okay. These guys. Something lunges out at us from the piles of garbage, cutting through the cold wind. 3 of them. I unflinchingly pull the trigger, once, twice, thrice. But my targets twist their bodies in midair, narrowly avoiding my shots. They then land on the ground, deploying the firearms on their backs. I hurriedly evade the machine gun fire, but more enemies creep up behind me. 5 of them. These are different from the slum dogs cleaning up the streets. So they don't explode? Military-grade, quadruped mechanical beasts that will stop at nothing to pursue their quarry. Raid dogs. A 4-legged patrol robot used by the military police. A heavily armed version of a slum dog. Comes in 2 models. A combat model outfitted with grenade launchers, anti-tank missiles, and other heavy weaponry. And a convoy model without these armaments. The military police use them for combat operations. Their entire bodies are covered in thick metallic armor, and they can be equipped with a wide variety of weaponry, from grenade launchers to anti-tank missiles. Their manufacturer, Amachi Robotic Industries. Ethica's AK-50 roars as it spews fire. In contrast to her feral howl, her aim is accurate. I face off against 3 raid dogs that have landed near me. I fix my re-eliminator sight on them. but they're faster than I expected. Their superconducting motors growl as they avoid my shots with precise footwork. If I show them even the slightest opening, their machine guns will fill my body with holes. I can't get a mark on them. Etika jabs her rifle into the ground and switches over to Rabbit Punch. Trying to fight them from a distance is just wasting bullets. And so she brings it to a melee battle. The Raid Dog's motors growl ever fiercer as they form a ring around us. Like hounds surrounding an enemy to ascertain their strength before closing in for the kill. We have become prey. I have to agree. And when we're up against small, agile enemies like these, we can't expect any support from Tokitaka. We're surrounded by enemies and isolated. Oh, sorry. I stand in at the center of the enemy circle, with Etika guarding my back. I entrust half of my life to her, and shoulder half of our own life in turn. Our X-brains link up through optical wireless communication. Even with the mesh jammer cutting off communication through our conries, at this distance, our X-brains can link up via infrared data communication. By syncing up with one another, we can exponentially increase our number of options. Our X-brain's vast well of subconscious knowledge will push our close-quarters armed martial arts to ever greater heights. Man, I actually almost got that whole sentence in one whole breath. Until I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to say? The Raid Dogs pounce at us all at once. They can afford some casualties. Jaws like pliers close in around us. I turn in place as Etika does the same. We intercept our assailants, acting in perfect harmony, never aiming for the same target. One Raid Dog is taken by surprise and can't respond in time. I slam it with a muzzle spike. A clean hit. The Raid Dog is sent flying, its engine letting out a scream-like howl. No time to rest. Another Raid Dog swoops in, twisting its body to dodge my muzzle spike and clamping its jaws down on my wrist. Its jaws lock on me with intense force. The Raid Dog's back-mounted guns fixes on me as it hangs from my wrist. Not good. No time to argue with my X-brain suggestion. I forcibly wrap the Raid Dog in my arms. I feel a powerful impact like the likes of which I've never felt before against my abdomen. It'll go fine. I'm sure of it. I'm fine. It tore a hole through my stomach, but it's not a fatal wound. I'm already dead after all. The Raid Dog is convinced it's killed its target. Its jaw is still close on my arm. I pump a bullet into its head. Its electronic brain is blasted to bits, and the mechanical dog falls silent, dangling from my arm. Even with a hole in my stomach and my arm being continually crushed, I feel no pain. I abide by my X-brain's instructions, dealing with the Raid Dogs as they pounce on me one by one. Unlike Etika, Soen is actually like using his, his living dead body to his advantage with these, whenever he's fighting. He did the same a lot when he was fighting Milgram. Etika never did that yet. With the Raid Dog still swinging from my arm, I brandish my re-eliminators like swords. I thrust my left arm in front of Etika's head, blocking a bullet aiming for her head with the Raid Dog's corpse.
Thank you.
Etika, atamada.
Etika and I act in perfect harmony. We move as one, obeying our X-brains every step of the way. The Raid Dogs snap at me, at times pulling a few feints, but I don't try to avoid their bites. The living dead need only to protect their brains. So long as the brain remains intact, a living dead can be injured anywhere and it won't matter. And our X-brains swiftly pick up on this new fighting style. Man, I feel like... I don't know. I feel like this is the longer route. Like, actually dying in my choice actually made me open up the... like a longer route. Because there's no way my friend beat me to... like a route, right? When he just played this game maybe 2 to 3 days ago. Unless he played the game like 8 hours a day. but I kinda doubt he's the type that does that. I swing the raid dogs that bite down on me, running them into Etika's rabbit punch. Etika swings the raid dogs that bite down on her, bashing them into my re-eliminator. Our arms can break for all we care. They can tear our legs right off if that's what it'll take. Even our organs are fair game. Our brains are the only thing we can afford to lose. I made Iria fall in sorrow. I cannot let that sorrow deepen. I want to see her smile, one last time. I want to give her that present. So until then... I shout back, kicking away the last raid dog as it tries to charge me. It flies straight into the bayonet of Etika's AK-50. Its tip stabs into the raid dog's torso, and the wasp injection knife spouts carbon dioxide into it. The mechanical canine is crushed in the blink of an eye, overcome by intense internal pressure. Etika shouts and pumps her fists victoriously. We've succeeded in destroying all 8 of the raid dogs sent after us.
随分と都合がいいな。
都合？
ここで壊れたら捨てる手間が省ける。
お前さ、そんななりで昔より人間っぽいこと言うじゃん。
That's actually true. Someone is actually sounding more human when he became a living dead than before that.
エチカこそひどい見てくれだぞ。
Yeah, this is a cool CG. Etika's right hand fell off when she pumped her fists. Damn, you guys are showing the fucking organs too. My own left hand finally came off from the recoil of the kick I delivered earlier. Obviously, not the sort of damage that a normal human would be able to just laugh about. But we're living dead.
うっせえな。手なんてまたつけてもらえばいいんだよ。
Or maybe, hear me out, maybe we're actually supposed to die, no matter what choice I made during that fight with Milgram and the flying hi-fi. But I'm not sure. The thing is, I'm not sure.
それより
Because this is actually super cool. If they are not living dead, there's no way they could pull this off.
さすがね、二人とも。
A voice calls out to us through the howling of the wind. A tan-skinned woman clad in a reinforced bodysuit emerges from the truck, greeting us with a composed demeanor.
オールガー、てめえが何者だかは知らねえし、興味もねえ。でも、イリアちゃんは返してもらうぞ。
返してもらう？
Apparently, the two of them know each other. The woman, Etika calls her Olga, gives a large theatrical shrug.
宝行イリアはあなたの持ち物ってわけ？
お前が勝手に連れ出したんだろが。
私は確かに人身売買ブローカーよ。天地十一郎に依頼されて実験に最適な人材を用意するのが仕事だった。だからいつもは力ずくで連れていくわね。
I was cracking my
で
fingers.
も今回は違う。
The back of the truck opens up.
イリア
I make the sprint toward her, but Iria averts her gaze from me.
イリア
Even the way I am now, I can tell she's rejecting me.
イリアちゃんは自分の意志で家を出てきたのよね。イリアちゃん。
おい、オルガ、無理強いしてんじゃねえぞ。
無理強いではありません。
Yeah, she was probably the one that showed on the camera. Another voice echoes out from inside the truck. Etika's breath catches in her throat. A woman reveals herself. She fixes us with a gaze that seems almost longing.
そりあゆか。
I've heard that name before. If I recall, Kuroshima Michiya mentioned it in his videotape. The first machine to have had a human consciousness implanted, namely, that of Asu Yukari's mother. Her appearance is indistinguishable from that of a human.
彼女はもともとザ・フォートレスに住んでいました。自分の意志であの場所に戻ることを決意したのです。そうですね。 イリアさん。
Iria nods in affirmation.
そう、ごめん。今はちょっとだけ離れたいの。
どうして？
It was like my lips moved on their own.
どうして離れなきゃならないんだ？僕はまだ。
ごめんね。今はそんな君を見るのが辛いの。
Just shoot me through the head. I can't even die the way I am. Seeing me like this is what's tormenting Iria. I shouldn't have come after her.
でもね、そう。私帰るから。ちゃんと帰るから。だからもう少しだけ。
時間です。
Do you think we have the time? Do you think Son has the time? He's gonna be a fucking living dead at that point. You're deluding yourself. Seawater shoots into the air. A submarine from Amachi's castle emerges from beneath the surface. It's here to escort them back.
それじゃあそういうことで。
Ethica's fist shakes in anger, but she holds herself back. She too understands Iria's decision, because she too has brought sorrow and torment to someone very precious through her death. The three of them board the submarine, which soon sinks beneath the water, leaving behind only the rumbling of the waves. We're left behind, all alone in the quarry. A chilling wind beats against us. No hot pipes to quell it.
イリアの言う通りだ。
I find myself muttering.
僕は今彼女から離れるべきだ。離れるべきなんだ。
そう。
Ethica approaches me, whispering my name. She pats me on the shoulder, then wraps her arm around me in a hug. But I can no longer feel any warmth in her embrace. The cold creeps through me. It creeps so deep it feels like it might just kill me. Well, that was depressing. And with that, I think I'm actually gonna end the episode right here. I thought that after what happened in the fortress, it was gonna end with, you know, me having like a bad end or something, but looks like the route is still going. Like, holy shit, I did not expect this. Like I said, I think my choice actually made me like go through a route that's like super long or something. Because like I said, there's no way my friend reached to where I'm at in just the span of 2 days. Then again, he's not commentating it, so he's reading it at a more, you know, like considerably faster speed. But even then, I still feel like my reading speed is still quite fast. But damn, a lot of this stuff that's happening right now is quite depressing. But yeah, I did not expect this game to like go for much longer. I expected the route to end, like I said. But yeah, it's almost 12 a.m. right now, so I need to go to bed. With that, I'm probably going to be splitting this into 2 episodes like the last time I recorded this, like yesterday. But with that, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access. And there has been no H scenes in this game. I am actually quite surprised. Maybe the H scenes are actually only when you're not a living dead route or something. Because, like I said, this is actually making the game super engaging. No H scenes in between. And with that, I'll be editing out the videos for Patreon, and I will see you guys next time. I am in conflict right now. I don't know if I want to continue this again tomorrow or not. Well, not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be going out with my friends. I need to do Kichikuo, but damn, the story in this game is actually super engaging. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I still want to play this game though, even though I already made 3 episodes for it this week. Oh my god. Saturdays and Sundays are free for me since my sister is actually out of town, so I might actually play Kichikuo later down the line on Saturday and Sunday while doing this on Wednesday. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.